Hello render stackers, it's been a while since I created a tutorial or production demo. With the introduction of the new rsPassBuilder, now seems like a great time to produce a tutorial video to showcase its features and highlight the updates made since the last demo. In this tutorial, we'll tackle a typical product visualization scenario. The assets are sourced from Chaos Cosmos and the scene setup was provided by Maciej Biegański from Studio Bega. A big thanks for that. The setup involves rendering 4 sofas from 4 different camera angles with 6 material variations for each sofa. That's 6 equals 96 images in total. Now with RenderStacks, you could manage all these 96 image passes in a single max file. But let's be honest, manually setting up all those passes can be tedious. Wouldn't it be great to have a better, more efficient way? That's exactly why rsPassBuilder was created. This scene includes 4 sofa models, each on its own model layer. The scene layer contains background objects while the camera and light layers hold cameras and lights. Let's launch RenderStacks. It seems there's already a render output modifier present. This is because I previously saved this setup as the startup file. You can customize a setup and use the Save Startup File option in the Preferences menu to set it as the default configuration for new Max sessions. The setup is stored as startup.xml in the User Settings folder. You can access this folder by selecting Open Startup File folder in the Preferences menu. RenderStacks supports various tokens for constructing the output path. In the current setup, it creates a folder with the same name as the max file within a render folder located in the same directory as the max file. The file name will follow the format, the pass group name, followed by an underscore, and then the pass name. The extension is set to JPG, and the file format options will automatically adjust based on the specified extension in the path. Let's begin by generating camera P modifiers. To do this, we can use the handy Generate Pass Per Camera tool in the Utilities menu. When you open this tool, it displays all the cameras in the scene and automatically pre-selects them. You can choose to create either a pass or a pass group for each camera. If you select only specific cameras, passes will be created just for those. Since we need a pass for each camera, simply click Make Passes. Go through each pass to review them. Everything looks good, except the ceiling is blocking the sofa model in the ISO camera view. Let's hide the ceiling just for the ISO pass. For this, we'll use the recently added Multi-Visibility P modifier mode. Open the Preferences dialog and look for this option in the Options section. Enable it and close the dialog. Once it's active, you'll see MVis in the title bar, indicating that the mode is on. This mode lets you use multiple visibility P modifiers, with each one acting like an item in the object set list. You can then use include and exclude options to add or remove objects from the visible selection. We'll start with the scene layer as the base and exclude the ceiling for the ISO pass. Add a visibility modifier to the base, press the LYR button and select scene from the dropdown. Next, expand the ISO pass. Select base visibility and click the duplicate the node button. This is my go-to method for creating a local version of a P modifier. It's quicker and simpler than using the tab menu. Now select the ceiling objects. Click the Make Selection Set From button and choose Selection. The object selection mode will automatically switch to SS, Selection Set, and the new selection set for the ceiling will be assigned. Finally, press the Include button. The button will toggle to Exclude, and the ceiling objects will be hidden. It looks like all the camera modifiers are set up. For the rsPassBuilder, modifiers for a set of variations need to be grouped into a pass group. Select all the camera modifier passes, click the Group Passes button, and name the group Camera. Next, we need to create the model variations. This time, let's start by creating a pass group. First, collapse the camera pass group, then press the Group Passes button again and name it Model. You'll see an empty pass group is created. Click the Add Pass button. Here's a tip in case you didn't know. You can create multiple passes at once by entering a comma-separated string. I've prepared this in advance as it makes creating multiple passes much faster. Once the passes are created, you can also add a visibility modifier to all the selected passes at the same time. Since the object selection method is already set to layer as inherited from the settings of the base modifier, you only need to update the layer to match the corresponding layer name of each pass. Currently, I'm using the detail camera as it's the one assigned to the base camera modifier. If you want to work on model variations using a different camera, you can update it in the base camera modifier. Here's another tip. You can make RenderStacks dockable and even hide the note panels on the right for a cleaner workspace, like this. Additionally, pressing the left arrow key while holding the control key will collapse only the passes. The last variation we need to set up is the material variation. As before, let's start by creating the material pass group. When creating an empty pass group, make sure not to select any passes. Otherwise, those passes will be added to the group. To be safe, just select the base instead. Next, I built the pass name string in a text editor and created all the passes at once. In RenderStacks, there are various ways to assign different materials to objects per pass. For this setup, we'll use the many-object-params modifier. It's ideal for setting multiple properties across multiple objects simultaneously. Since the material is compatible with all sofas, this approach works perfectly. Let's begin by creating a basic setup in the base, add a many-object-params modifier and give it a subname, such as MTL. Then select all the sofa models and create a selection set using the Make Selection Set From button. The sofa legs are separate objects but share the same materials, so I only selected the sofa bodies. Next, specify what we want to control per pass. In the left dropdown, choose Node, and in the right dropdown, select Material. Right-click the empty area and choose Add Property from dropdown. Well, it asked me to select an object to get the default value, so I select only one of the sofas and added the property. To apply this setup to all the material variation passes, right-click the modifier and choose Copy Modifiers. Then select all the material variation passes and use Paste Modifiers to apply the changes. As the list of modifiers grows longer, it can get cluttered. To simplify the view, show the note panel again, go to the Settings rollout, and uncheck the Show Base Modifiers checkbox. This will hide the green base modifiers for each pass. It looks like the sofa isn't visible yet. To fix this, open one of the model passes and locate the visibility modifier, hold the control key, drag the modifier, and drop it into the material pass group. This will copy or duplicate the modifier, making the sofa visible in the material passes. I've already set up the 6 materials in the classic material editor. Select the many-object-params P modifier in the black velvet pass. Activate the first slot in the material editor, then go to the P modifier and click the beige fabric button. And this will open the material map assignment menu. Select Get from Classic Material Editor active slot to load it. Finally, visit each many-object-params P modifier and assign the appropriate material. All right, now that all the source P modifiers are set up, we're ready to create the final passes. This might be a good time to preview what we've got so far. As you know, RenderStacks offers some really powerful preview features. If you select pass groups, it'll automatically preview all the passes within that group. You can even use a custom image viewer for multi-previews. For example, I've set my image sequence player to chaos player and use it for multi-previews. Now it's time to generate all possible combinations of 4 cameras, 4 models, and 6 materials. Obviously, we're not going to manually build 96 passes. This is where rsPassBuilder comes to the rescue. Open the Utilities menu and select PassBuilder. Choose all 3 source pass groups. Click the Update Source Pass Groups button. At the top, you'll find a list of the pass groups that will be used. Below the list box, you can use the New Pass Name text box to define how the new pass names will be structured using tokens. Each pass group name is treated as a token, letting you control the position of each variation name. You can also add extra characters similar to how you define an output path. Remember, the slash acts as a separator between the pass group and the pass. By default, the top pass group is used as the pass group for the new passes. If you'd prefer not to use pass groups and want to flatten all the passes, you can remove the slash or replace it with a different character. You can also assign a color to the newly generated passes. I always recommend doing this. It provides a visual break and makes it much easier to filter them. Okay, are you ready? Here they are, 96 passes. As you can see, each pass name in the camera pass group has been used as the pass group name for the new passes. If you open the new ISO pass group, you'll notice that the modifiers from the original ISO pass under the camera pass group have been instanced. In the Climatiser Black Velvet pass, you'll find that the Visibility 001 modifier from the Climatiser pass And the many object params MTL01 P modifier from the Black Velvet bed pass have been instanced to the pass. The pass name, clematisr.blackvelvet, was created based on the token, model_material. There's also a dummy PassBuilder pass added as a visual break. Plus, since we assigned a color to all the PassBuilder passes, you can easily filter them by color to isolate only those passes. You can check and preview the generated passes. You can add custom P modifiers to the passes just like with any other passes. Since all modifiers are instanced, adjusting one P modifier will automatically update it across all other passes, so there's no need to regenerate passes when tweaking sources. If you need to change the naming for the new passes, you'll have to regenerate them. Before doing that, simply press the Delete All PassBuilder Setup Passes button to remove the existing passes and start fresh. If you restart the pass builder, all your settings will come back as long as the previous pass groups are still in place. Now let's switch the model and material tokens and regenerate the passes with the updated color. You can render locally or send it to a render farm. RenderStacks works with Deadline, Backburner, Royal Render, and Tractor. Alternatively, you can generate a batch file and render in 3ds Max batch mode. Simply click the Generate Batch button to create the file, then run it. While rendering in batch mode, a log file will be generated. If any issues arise, the log file can help you troubleshoot and resolve them quickly. That's all for today. Do you think rsPassBuilder could help make your workflow more efficient? If so, this might be the perfect opportunity to invest in RenderStacks. rsPassBuilder is an exclusive feature available in our commercial version. Thanks! Happy rendering!